Yo, 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 it's your boy, Tom97. We are back once again for another video. No idea what the intro was, something different, but we are back once again for some more career mode. Today, this is the Singapore Grand Prix, and it's the longest race on the calendar, one that I absolutely despise, especially now it's summertime outside and it's really, really warm. This race just makes me so sweaty, but hopefully you guys go on to enjoy the video. If you do, drop a like and subscribe if you are new, guys, for daily Formula 1 content on the channel. And yeah, if you have missed the last episode, guys, at Italy for the Italian Grand Prix, then go check it out, guys. It will be linked in the top right hand corner of your screen. In Ferrari land, pretty much in Ferrari's backyard, we were up against it, and the championship gets a little bit tastier. But today it's Singapore, it's a completely different track to Monza, so let's see how it all shakes out going into qualifying. So first and foremost, let's jump into the laptop to start off the weekend, and you can see on screen no rain expected for qualifying or the race, which is great. We always seem to get a bit of rain at Singapore, but this time we haven't got it, which is good. We then move into developments, and no team have brought any upgrades this weekend, so things will remain unchanged. And finally, just worth noting, we've moved back to power unit number 1 for this weekend, including a 63% worn control electronics for this weekend, and this will hopefully enable us to be able to get to the end of the season on our current components, and fingers crossed we have no issues in that regard. But with that said, we now move into qualifying here at Singapore, and I do like the track. You know, it's good fun, especially in qualifying. A one lap, if you hook it up around here, it's a lot of fun. This weekend we're going to be running Cockpit View once again, guys. This will be the penultimate time. The last time we'll do it will be at Abu Dhabi, probably. I'm not 100% sure I will, so this could be the last time. So hopefully, guys, that don't like Cockpit View, don't get my back too much. I don't do it often, but this might be the last one. If not, it will be definitely at Abu Dhabi. So either way, jumping into qualifying, we went for 3 runs in today's session, and my best run actually was my final one. So we're going to kind of analyse these. My first lap was a pretty comfortable banker, to be fair. There was a bit of time left on the table, but it was still pretty good. Like a really strong first lap. We go P1 ahead of Russell and Kvyat, and I was like, okay, it seems like we've got some good pace around here, to be fair. We then move on to our second one, and it's a shame because I was 2 tenths up and I was absolutely flying on this lap. It was a really good lap. Perez now P3, but we clipped the wall right there on the exit, and I went straight into the pit lane. But now we're going to run aboard for a full lap of the Singapore circuit in Cockpit View, and I'll be back when the lap is over.
Careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage.
And there we go then, across the line. We do improve, not quite enough. We got a bit of damage. Had I not clipped the wall, we would have gone P1. You know, definitely P1. And if not P1, then P2. But there was some development. So after our lap finished, Verstappen and Russell snuck onto the front row, which was very surprising actually. Verstappen with a 130.3, he absolutely demolished us. The best we could have done was second place. That's what we should have. That's where we should be if we hadn't crashed it. But we are going to start from P4. Kvyat in third, Russell second. Then we've got Sainz and Bottas on row 3. Then it's Perez and Leclerc on row number 4. So a very competitive top 8. My teammate down in P7. Lewis Hamilton only P9 behind in a Ferrari. Really disappointing qualifying from Lewis, and he's really struggling for momentum lately. Pierre Gasly runs off the top 10. Sebastian Vettel and Albon are on row number 6. Then behind them on row 7 we have Magnussen and Lando Norris. Great quality there from Lando in the Williams. Then we have Hulkenberg behind them with Giovinazzi alongside the German. And then finally, the final 2 rows, we do have Kimi Raikkonen and Daniel Ricciardo with Lance Stroll and Romain Grosjean bringing up the rear. But guys, that is your grid for today's race. We're now going to move to things here for the Singapore Grand Prix, and hopefully we can try and beat Kvyat and Verstappen. Right then, boys, here we are on the grid for the Singapore Grand Prix, starting of course from Cockpit View here today once again, and we are starting on 4th place on the 2nd row. We've got both of the Red Bulls of course on the front row, and Daniel Kvyat in 3rd to my right. I think pace wise we can definitely get 2nd place here today. 1st place could be a bit tricky. Verstappen seems very quick around here, but 2nd and 3rd is definitely achievable, and I think we can have the pace to achieve that here today. You know, the minimum really is to get a podium. If I can get a podium, I'll be happy. Damage limitation at best, and it keeps, you know, Kvyat and Verstappen at distance. But first of all, the strategy today, I'm going to go for a soft medium. That could change depending on what other cars do around us, but in principle we're going to go for this strategy. Very comfortable, very simple 2-stop, and fuel wise I'm going to run 0.6, not a lot because we don't really need it. It's a street circuit, you want to try and keep your rear tyres, so therefore we don't want to push too much. So I'm going to go a little bit lighter than usual, and hopefully we can still have a good race. No rain expected here today, so it's going to be a very straightforward one where so we're going to come down to strategy and general pace. So let's see what happens, and let's try and secure a race win, of course, is the main target, if not a podium. So let's jump into the Singapore Grand Prix. Right, here we go. Let's see what kind of start we can get as the lights are on. Lights out and away we go. It's a good start from us actually, really good start. Into turn 1 we go. On the inside line we've got Sainz looking for the move on the right hand side of us in the McLaren. Been squeezed into the apex there. I'm going to try and get the power down, but Sainz still holding on. He's going to make the move actually. Look at the acceleration in the McLaren. Not surprising at all. And you'll see him just pull away here even though we're running full power. So we've lost P4 off the start. Looks like Kvyat's going to make his way up into P2 possibly on George Russell. It's going to be close. I'd like Russell to hold on preferably so that Kvyat doesn't pull away, but we can never guarantee it. Kvyat's been on good form all season long, so let's see. They're still side by side, but Russell crucially gets in front. So there we go. That's what we need. As we now settle into P5, we get very close to the back of Sainz there as there's a bit of a brake check going on in front of us. But for now, P5 in this race. We're going to have to try and find our way past McLaren here today and get back our P4. So we'll wait until about lap 3 when DRS is enabled. That's when the AI turn their engines down, and that's when we'll have a chance to make things happen. But for now, it's all about single file and following the train pretty much.
Okay, we're monitoring somewhere on the ICE. Be aware that we will start to see a loss of power.
Yeah, we are running with very warm components this race. Worth noting. Shouldn't affect us too badly, but we will lack a bit of edge on the straights compared to usual. But once we do this, we should be okay to get to the end on our current allocation of components. If we go over to the engine life tab, you can see in the bottom right there, the control electronics mainly is the most worn out. And when the control electronics is worn, it wears everything out faster. So yeah, by the end of the race, we could be looking pretty poorly in terms of engine condition, but we should be okay though. I'm not expecting any breakdowns. We're not risking anything majorly. Verstappen is absolutely flying out front. 35-0.
Okay, entering lap 3 now. DRS has been enabled.
We're 7/10 off that, which is not terrible, but we're not quite on the back of Carlos Sainz here. I was hoping to be a little bit closer to maybe passing, but I think Carlos will have DRS on the Ferrari of Daniel Kvyat, so for now we're going to have to just sit back and wait a little bit. We need the kind of cars to spread out, and that will give us an opportunity to maybe get by. Good news is we are pulling away from Bottas behind, so we're dropping him, which is good. He's pretty much out of DRS range now, so hopefully Perez can get a move on him. Now Sainz is starting to drop back a little bit. I think he still has DRS on Kvyat going onto the back straight, but we're a lot closer. Let's see if I can get a good exit here, which is going to be key. We do. Sainz doesn't have DRS. This may be a chance. I don't think we're close enough, or are we? We are gaining quite a bit. Down the inside we go. It's a late one on the brakes, but we just about get the car stopped, and we make a move, and we reclaim 4th place, which is good. So we're now ahead of the Spaniard. That was a tricky one. The acceleration just isn't there compared to the AI, but we have pulled away, and we've now got Kvyat trying to line up a move on George Russell for P2. So let's see if we can use the fact that they're battling to try and close in on these boys. Tyres are dropping off very quickly around here. You can feel it already. Tyre performance just not keeping up one bit. We have closed in a little bit on Kvyat and Russell at the end of that lap, but Sainz is still hanging on, of course, with DRS. Ooh, okay, Kvyat pits. First one to bite the bullet. The Red Bull stay out though.
Pit window open. Let's box this lap.
Looking like an undercut from Kvyat. We're going to pit this lap, so we'll have 1 lap fresher tyres than the Russian, but Kvyat with the undercut attempt on George Russell. Let's push now on the end lap. Let's give it a bit more engine mode, see if we can get anywhere closer to our personal best and try and end the lap strongly and close up on Russell going into the pit lane. That would be ideal. Yeah, tyres are gone. It's not been a good in lap from us. Just really struggling for performance and grip. Sainz is actually catching me back up a little bit. Just trying to ease it back to the pit lane if I can. There we go. Turn everything down. Into the pit entry. Easy does it. Sainz stays out for yet another lap. Surprising actually. Bottas though does pit. And Perez stays out, of course. We will hold Russell for a little bit. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. And we shouldn't be affected by this, hopefully.
Go, go, go.
There we go. That's perfect. We don't get held up. So we have actually gained a little bit on George Russell. There's a load of traffic in front as well. So that's going to be really, really key. Let's see how it all shuffles out.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
Kvyat on the hard tyres, so going to the end, it looks like. Interesting, so different strategies. We're going to be aggressive on this medium, so we're going to have to try and get past the Ferrari and try and push on. So head down, let's give it some and let's see if we can pull away. Russell somehow has gained even more time, even though I held him in the pits. I don't know how it's happened, but he's really pulled away. AI always are really good in the pit stop phase. It's impossible to beat them. Perez pits, I'm guessing Verstappen and Bottas as well. I'm now all over the back of Kvyat. I've got a lot more pace than him, of course, on the fresh tyres. So we're going to try and line up for a move. He won't have DRS, of course, so we'll get the momentum through here. As we go to the pit straight, DRS.
Guys moving to mix 2. Fuel to mix 2.
Down the inside of the Russian. There we go. Nice, easy move. And job done. Right. Let's keep going. Perez, Bottas all rejoin behind us. Verstappen ahead of us. So is Russell, of course, but they're also in this traffic of these guys starting on the hard tyre. So this could be interesting. If I can carve my way through these guys quickly enough, we could get onto the back of the Red Bulls. But crucially, we're now ahead of Kvyat in this race, our championship rival. Obviously, we've got one more stop yet to make, but this traffic could be key in terms of making or breaking our race. Straight away, I'm a lot quicker than a Magnussen here. As we go to the outside, I'm just going to go easily around the outside there, a lot more grip. I think Kevin has wing damage. Either way, we're through. That's going to hold up Kvyat quite a bit, which is good news for us. Lance Stroll up next. Okay, the move on Stroll is going to be a carbon copy of the Kvyat one last lap. Probably even easier because we know the Williams doesn't have the pace. So we'll get a much bigger run through here. Here we go. DRS. We'll stick to the outside this time. There we go. Easy move around the outside. Up to P11 now. Looks like there was no cars in the pits that lap. Looks like Hamilton's behind us as well. So he's having a pretty poor race. Quite a way back. He's got quite a lot of cars actually ahead of him. So Hamilton could be running like a net P10, 11 or something like that at the minute. Right, Russell's next. He can't get through the traffic. Neither can Verstappen. I'm curious to see what tyres Max is on, because I know Russell's on mediums, but we don't know what Max is doing. Okay, we're right on the back of these guys now. Getting the run through the final corner is going to be key, so just going to back off a little bit through here. And I want to kind of wind it up like a slingshot. So here we go, we're at the perfect distance, I think. As long as we don't get too much dirty air. There's a lot of dirty air, as I say that. Really struggling. Russell looking for a move. Can't go past though. Meanwhile, Verstappen is putting a move on one of the Mercs. Trying to find my way past, but it's so difficult. Just a massive DRS train here. Russell's a bit slow. I'll get the switch back on him. Look at that, look how much we lose on acceleration, it's unbelievable. Oh my god, it's 3 wide, there's contact, Mercedes goes for a half spin. We get past Russell and the Mercedes there. Very nicely done, threading the other needle, and we find our way through. Romain Grosjean is next in the Toro Rosso, but that was a beautiful Cheeky little overtake, keeping it on the track limits pretty much. I think we was on the curb, so I'll class that as an okay race. Oh, okay overtake. I mean, the game didn't punish me for it, so it counts. Let's see if we can find a way past Romain Grosjean here. Nice clean exit. Can we get him into the brake zone, into turn 14? Not quite. I thought I might have had him there, but again, another car that's faster than me on the straight. Well, let's get this move done this time. Here we go. Hold that mode engaged. Through the final corner. Now we crank it up. DRS. Ball to the outside again. Into turn 1. Around the outside we go. And there we go. Job done. Verstappen's on hard tyres, so we may have a chance then. In that case, a bit more traffic coming up. That could be a nice way to catch up to Max, but we need to use these mediums to close up on the Red Bull driver, because if he's on the hards, he's going to the end, so we've got to try and pull out a whole pit stop gap in this race. Here we go, we're nice and close. I just used the final sector to just save a bit of energy to close up on Max Verstappen. Here we go. Come on, hold on, hold on, hold on. We're really close, got the slipstream. Down the inside of Max, into the brake zone we go. Max still there. I have to go around the outside. But we get it done, there we go, power down. Get the better traction on these, and we're through. Nice overtake on Max. Didn't really have to use the traffic, we just got it done naturally. Now we can get after Lando and the Toro Rosso of, I believe, Daniel Ricciardo. Both of these boys on the hard compound tyres, it looks like. To the hairpin. Getting a bit of a rear kind of slip on the entry, but not too bad. I fancy the move on Lando there, but I'm not good enough on the brakes into this particular brake zone. Oh my god, we're so close. So much quicker than Lando here. Just had to be patient, but now we're going to get the chance to get by. Here we go. Ricciardo pits, so he's going to get out of our way, make it very easy for us. Right, we're a little bit far back, so
strategy is available on the MFT.
Down the inside, easy move.
Confirmed.
No idea what that was, but we'll take it. I saw it was both of them on medium, so it makes no difference to me whatsoever. Now we've got clean track. Hopefully Verstappen will be stuck behind Norris just for a little bit. So we've got a chance to pull away here. Let's get the hammer down.
Okay, some information on Raikkonen. They seem to have an issue.
Okay, Kimi's right in front of us, but I think he's going to pit this lap anyway, so doesn't make much of a difference. Verstappen's got past Norris. So let's see if we can pull away now and clean it. There we go, Kimi does pit, as expected. That's going to give us P2 in this race now. Sebastian Vettel leads for Mercedes on those hard tyres. Let's see what kind of pace we have now and clean it. Oh, getting sideways there. I don't have a lot more pace than Max. Obviously, we used the peak performance of it behind other cars. At the minute, Sebastian Vettel, P1, on those hard compound tyres. He's going to go into mediums, but he's the net race leader, I guess, in a way, or him or Verstappen, because he's going to go into the medium. So right now, we've both got one stop left. So Seb, right now, we need to catch up to him. And he's pretty much 6 seconds up the road. So he's looking pretty good in that regard. So at the minute, we're not even a net P2 behind Max. Seb is the next car for position. Okay, 1.3 we gained on Sebastian on that lap, so we're quite quick, making good progress. Gap to Verstappen now 3 seconds. It's not really going up that much. We need Russell, who's right behind him, to battle with him and have a bit of a teammate battle. That would cost them both time. Okay, this lap we're going to do opposite of Vettel, so let's see.
Understood, stopping this lap.
Let's see what he does. If he stays out, we'll pit and undercut him. If he pits, we'll stay out for an overcut. Seb pits, there we go. Right, let's push for one lap. See what we've got left in the tank on these tyres, and we'll try and go for the overcut. It's been a great in lap from us. We are matching our personal best pretty much for most of the lap, and we've lost a little bit in the final sector as I'm saving energy and fuel, but good lap from us. Let's see if it's been enough to potentially overcut Sebastian Vettel. We need a good pit entry as well, and a good pit stop in itself. There we go, get it all slowed down to the limiter, there we go. Right, so Max is going to go by, Kvyat will go by as well. So, at best, it's going to be P3. Let's see where Vettel and Russell are.
Go now.
2.2, it's not the best stop. Hulkenberg as well and Albon, so we're actually quite a way away, in fairness. This could be interesting. Here comes Sebastian.
Is in the pits. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Next car is Hamilton. He's on the hard tyres, so he also went for the one-stopper. So we rejoin in P6. Kvyat is P2, Verstappen's P3. This could be bad for the championship, so we need to get a move on now in this stint. We need to use these tyres to make some progress. I'm going to try and save a bit of energy on this outlap. I want to push for the fastest lap as well, because we'll have the tyres for it, and I'm going to save a bit of fuel. So a bit of energy saving going on in this lap for now, as we need to get ready to push. Sebastian Vettel, new fastest lap, as we run it very wide through the final corner. Right, let's see what we can do on this lap. George Russell, 33.9. That's the target we need to aim for. Good lap from us. We should be able to take away the fastest lap across the line. There we go, 33.6, and we've got Vettel and Hulkenberg battling in front for position. This is perfect. We'll close right up to the back of them. Hulkenberg having a great race in the Alpha on those hard compound tyres. But once again, he's going to miss out on an F1 podium. Sebastian takes away P4. Look at this, DRS, but look how much I'm just losing on the straight. Hulk's going to re-challenge Seb, actually. In the brake zone, side by side, the two of them. I'm just going to wait for the right opportunity. And find a space to make a move. Hulkenberg has a slow exit. I thought about it there, but Hulkenberg just cut me off. Right then, Seb up to P3. Hulkenberg P4. Right then, let's get this move done. I'm losing a lot of time stuck behind Nico. Vettel's really pulling away here. Full power as we go into the final corner. Get the line right. Here we go. DRS.
We're not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix too soon.
Job done. Easy move on the Hulk. We still have the fastest lap at the Grand Prix. So we're P4. Let's hunt down Seb. We've lost someone though. Someone must have pit. I must have missed it because Kvyat was P2 and Max was P1. But Albon's still out there. So either the positions have glitched or one of them has pit. I've not realised. Not sure. I'll have to look at that, to be fair. At the moment, George Russell is on the charge behind us. Also, I'm struggling to get onto the back of Vettel. He's got really good pace in that Mercedes, and I can't quite match his pace at the moment. Kvyat, new fastest lap. He takes away my previous one, so it was Kvyat who pit. That's okay. Our main tyre rival. We're going to outscore him today, which is good, because he had to pit for another set of tyres. He couldn't make it to the end on those hard tyres that he went for early on, which I was quite surprised with, to be honest. So there we go. There's confirmation. Weird strategy though from Ferrari. Really weird.
Green flag.
Oh, yellow flag. So Ferrari. Which one is it? We get confirmation. It's Kvyat. Ooh, big championship moment here. That's crucial for the World Drivers' Championship. Kvyat out of the race. Wow, that is massive. That could define the championship unless Verstappen goes on a late season charge. That could be critical. Seb just can't get anywhere near Albon on the straights at the minute. I think he's really working hard to save energy. The AI always go for their kind of last minute push in their closing laps. We need to make a move soon because Russell's closing in and I don't want to lose a place. I'd rather gain 2 instead of lose 1. So we've got to make something happen soon. But Seb's still saving energy, and of course with the AI's acceleration, my tyres are now pretty second hand. It's very hard for me to get the traction I need to get a run on one of these guys. So I don't know where I'm going to pass Sebastian at the minute. And now Russell, you can see the arrow up here. He's getting closer and closer. And best believe, unlike myself, he will definitely get the traction because the AI always do. At the moment, we ain't going nowhere. Nothing's happening. I can't get the traction that I need to get any kind of run on these guys, which is really annoying. And Seb is still saving energy. He's been saving energy for like 4 laps now, hence why he's not actually putting a move on Albon when I think he could quite easily do it, as we cut that corner quite a bit there. Russell behind us, he's the quickest car out of all of us, but again, he's got the bad luck of being behind 3 cars, therefore triple dirty air and 3 times the lack of slipstream. Right, here we go then, it's time to strike, make something happen. We're going to try and put the pressure on Sebastian Vettel here as best as we can. Into turn 4, Seb goes defensive. We almost run to the back of him. Come on, have we got anything on the straight? Seb is still saving energy, come on. Give me the straight line speed. Down the inside we go. There it is, later move. And I feel confident that I can get Albon as well. Let's give it everything. Crank up the engine mode. We'll keep it in hot lap pretty much to the end of the race now. We'll just push to the max and see if we can get past Albon and secure a second place. Last lap, boys. This is it. We're closing in on Albon through here. The crucial section. We get a bit of a snap on there. Through turn 4. Unfortunately, we couldn't quite force Albon to go defensive, which is what you want. DRS. Can we get close? He doesn't have DRS. We're closing a little bit. We're going to just be patient. We'll still get a chance, I think. Just got to wait for the right opportunity. Oh, that's a mistake. Running it a bit too hot there. That might just cost me. I was hoping to challenge on this back straight, but I've messed it up. That's all she wrote. There you go. Verstappen wins it. Fully deserved. He dominated here today. Had the pace all weekend in qualifying as well. And we're going to have to settle for a third place. Alexander Albon is going to pick up a phenomenal second place finish in the Haas. And you know what? I'll take a third. That's okay. That's a good result.
Thank you for all your hard work out there. That was a strong drive and a good finish. Well done.
Red Bull pulling out all the stops today. What a great win. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win.
Well then guys, there we have it. The results are in and Max Verstappen picks up the win here today at Singapore. Alexander Albon second, we come home in third place, and it's George Russell in fourth. Sebastian Vettel P5 ahead of Hulkenberg, Hamilton, Leclerc and Perez, who finishes down in ninth place in the end, and Daniel Ricciardo in 10th. Looking at the top 10, I picked up the fastest lap, but for some reason I've not been given the point. I know Kvyat picked up the fastest lap, but he retired, so clearly they haven't coded that into the game correctly. Either way, I should be getting an extra point today. But Grosjean 11, Raikkonen 12th, Sainz, Bottas having a pretty poor racing actually, with Gasly, Magnussen, Giovinazzi, Stroll and Norris running out the finishes, with Kvyat out of the race. That is massive for the championship, because you can see now we are 38 points clear of Daniel Kvyat, and Verstappen are only 9 points behind the Russian, and Verstappen is slowly coming alive in this. And I did say at the mid-season point, he was my favourite to, you know, pick up the points in the second half of the season. Like last year, he was so damn fast. I mean, that Red Bull is dialed in, it's so damn quick. But yeah, overall, it's now pretty much a 3-horse race. Hamilton has definitely dropped out after today's result. He's now 100 points behind. And finally, in terms of the constructors, we are only 14 points behind Ferrari. That is the closest we've been all season. So the gap is closing and we're knocking on the door. But Red Bull today gained a lot of points as well. And the top 3 now only covered by 62 points. So that's the smallest the gap's been across all 3 teams this season as well. So it's going to go down to the wire. It's Ferrari versus Racing Point versus Red Bull, and it's also Kvyat versus myself versus Verstappen. So it's going to all, you know, come to a head later on in the season. But guys, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it, and also subscribe if you are new, guys, for daily Formula 1 content on the channel. Also click the bell icon, guys, to be notified when the new F1 2020 content drops very soon in the game. And also, guys, check out the final 2 videos on your screen right now if you have missed them. You might enjoy them, so give them a chance. But guys, that is it from me here today at Marina Bay for the Singapore Grand Prix, and I will see you all next time at Sochi for the Russian Grand Prix. But until then, it's goodbye from me.